Greetings, D&D players, enthusiasts, and observers alike, and welcome back to Chronicles of Kriya. My name is Emma, and I will be your DM today and every day that this wonderful campaign exists. Last time, our characters finished up their investigation of the town of Ivenburra and set off into the Sparkling Grove with their tour guide Marissa leading the way. They stayed on the intended path at first, but a rogue set of tracks veering off that path soon had them wandering into an untamed part of the forest that contained a deadly predator, a massive snake that, thanks to the observations of our party, they believe has been consuming tourists for the past few weeks. They are now face to face with said snake, who is trapped in Damien's iron grasp, as we roll initiative. Also, I apologize for my lack of enthusiasm in that intro. It has been the night from hell. We spent an entire hour trying to fix technical difficulties.
And it wasn't just the same one. It was like back-to-back crazy different problems.
But now, we're going to beat out all our pent-up anger by beating up this constrictor snake. So,
no one use a weapon. We're just going to beat it with our bare fists.
I'm going to bite it.
Do it.
Oh.
Roll initiative.
It's not me.
I'm very afraid to do that.
Alright, and just to note, I have advantage because of Vigilant Blessing.
Well,
Which is
mine is a 4.
Oh no.
Oh, I forgot my dex is shit.
Yeah, hold those rolls until everyone's rolled. Did anyone roll above a 20? No?
Mm-mm.
Above a 15?
Yes, I did.
What'd you roll?
I got a 19.
Ooh.
Okay.
Stars are with this bitch.
And I want to say my other roll with, thankfully, with advantage was a 1. Thank God for advantage.
Yikes. Okay.
Big yikes.
Anyone roll above a 10?
I have
I got
14. Oh,
Ha!
boy.
Ha!
Who has the higher dex?
Spider-Man meme pointing at each other.
I have I have +1 in my dex.
+2.
Ah!
Okay, so...
You elbow chat one out of the way.
Alright, and then Damien, you said that was a 4, correct?
Yup, I have a 4.
Rip. As Damien grasps this giant constrictor snake with one of his massive gauntlets. Thelthu, you're first up.
Alrighty. So to start, well, first off, how far away is the snake from where we are, or from where I am, I guess?
I believe. Did you all stay in sort of like a 5-foot cluster? From what I remember from last time,
We were like tied together, weren't we?
No, we untied ourselves once we entered the meadow. Once we entered the clearing, we untied ourselves. I think I had gone further into the clearing to get away from the tree line. I know Damien was near the tree line because he grabbed the stake. Theothu, I think you were near the tree line as well.
I think I stayed near the entrance bit of the clearing.
Yeah, no, Damien rushed out because the snake dropped that was looping down behind you to pick you up.
Yeah, the snake was gonna get me.
I was gonna let him.
Fuck you.
The clearing is essentially a 20-foot circle. So if you're by the entrance to the clearing...
I know it's good that I asked, but I just double-checked. It probably didn't matter in terms of a range thing of what I'm going to be doing, but still good to know.
Okay.
So first I'm going to bonus action starry form into the archer. So trace the constellation on his arms into the archer. Yeah, so kind of projecting that, constellation upon himself. So what it does is it's a bonus action. I make a ranged spell attack against this thing, hurling an arrow at him.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that as a bonus action. That is a 10 plus 5 for a 15.
That hits.
As he shoots out an arrow from this constellation form, which is a d8 plus wisdom for damage. That is 1 plus 3 for 4 radiant damage.
All right.
And then I'm going to, with my action, cast Guiding Bolt, which is another ranged spell attack.
Okay, roll the hit.
Probably going to miss. That is a 7.
Yeah, that will not hit.
That was the important one. Yeah, but for flavor, it's shooting arrows kind of as a starry constellation. The first one hitting, the second one obviously missing.
Mm-hmm.
Action, bonus action.
And that that one that had a brighter glow, the second one, whizzes past as the snake is writhing, just manages to miss as it arcs over the body and buries itself into a nearby tree and ends up burrowing a hole in the nearby tree from the power of the blast. Anything else you would like to do?
No, that'll be my turn. But just to note, that is casted with based on a class ability, not spells.
Gotcha.
Just for slots, but that's it.
Does this just like launch out of your arm?
Essentially, I'm imagining like a projection of an archer kind of appears, or more of a bow and arrow, I'd imagine, because he'd be the archer, kind of astral bow and arrow.
Okay.
That's pretty fucking dope.
Indeed it is. But alrighty, let's move on to Rubo. You are next.
I think you guys can see Rubo in the back, and he gives you guys a look like he's gonna get like pretend to be asleep, and then he's like, I'm just kidding. But I'm gonna roll stealth and use my cunning action to try to hide.
Alrighty, roll me some stealth, sir.
I say that I'm gonna not actually sleep, but then I dive into a bush. That's it was a 13 and a 15, so 13 plus my stealth, which is 2, so 15 total.
Alrighty. You think you're sneaky as you dive into this bush.
Sweet. I'm gonna try to throw a dagger at this thing and try to sneak attack it. That is a 16 to hit.
That hits.
Perfect. And do I get sneak attack? I'm actually
Yes,
hitting.
you do.
Sweet. That is a 4 points for my regular damage, and then just one little d6 of extra damage, but it's a 6. So 10 points of damage.
Oh shit.
As I just like say I'm not going to fall asleep, dive into this bush. Everyone thinks I actually am faking sleeping. And then a dagger just stabs into the snake.
You guys hear the snake hiss out in pain as it continues writhing in Damien's grasp.
I told you guys I was useful.
That bush just threw a dagger at the snake.
Oh, it was me.
Who? See no
Fuck.
one. He's hidden.
And with that, we move over to Chatwin.
Okay. I roll up the sleeves of my big overcoat and Ifriti's aura. The lights that lights up from inside, showing off the bones in the face and the glowing eyes. And I reach into the big sleeve of my overcoat and I pull out a swirling, like chromatic, like marble looking thing. And I, like a pitcher in a baseball game, I'm going to cast Chromatic Orb, throw this thing at him. Which is roll to hit. Let's use the pink dice. Okay. That is 13 plus 6, which is going to be 19.
19 hits.
Perfect. That is 3d8, and I'm going to do fire damage, so I can do an extra bit with my Ifriti's aura as well. So let me get my d8.
Jeez, guys. When I said channel all your inner rage from our hour of technical difficulties, I didn't realize we were channeling this much inner rage.
Pop off.
Joke's on you, I'm always full of rage. Ooh, baby. So that's 5 plus 5 is 10 plus 6 is 16 plus my charisma modifier, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, so that is 16 plus an additional 4 from my charisma modifier, which is 20. Yeah, so 20 damage total of fire damage. Just it's plink against the scale and rainbow fire all around.
Okay. Yeah. Damien, you watch as this plink of rainbow fire erupts from Chatwin's hands and engulfs the abdomen of this snake that you're holding, the heat radiating off of it, nearly singeing your hair as you kind of lean back to avoid the full brunt.
Look out! It's hot. It doesn't look like normal. It's still fire. It's. I say, glowing in like this radiant light, fucking eyes, bones glowing through the skin. It's hot.
I'm used to fire. I'm a blacksmith. I'm all right.
Chatwin, Damien, both of you guys go ahead and make me perception checks. Well, actually, everyone make me perception checks.
I'm not a very perceptive person, and that's not a very good roll. So Actually, I'm a very perceptive person. What am I talking about? That's a 15.
Ooh, that is 14 plus 0, 14.
There's a 3 plus a 1, so big old 4.
Welp.
Yeah, I am joining you with that 3, but it's 3 plus 5 for an 8.
Actually, Damien and Chatwin are the only ones who notice this, but as your rainbow fire melts away part of the scales and flesh of the abdomen portion of this snake, both of you spot what looks to be the intact torso of a human and a bit of one of the bright pink signature shirts of the tour guides from the town.
I am in a bush, so I can't be mad about not seeing anything.
Oh, Marcy.
Yep, poor Marcy.
With that, it is the snake's turn.
What a snake.
What a snake.
It pauses its writhing in Damien's grasp long enough to try and snap at the arm that is holding it in place.
Damien, hold it up closer to the mouth so it doesn't get you.
I don't think a 12 hits.
No, not even close, lass.
Oh, you got it, buddy.
It tries to position its head right, and you see the fangs burst out of its mouth as it opens its jaws wide, only for it to just like one of the tips of the fangs to barely scrape your gauntlet, and then it goes back to writhing in your grasp. Damien, it is now your turn.
I'm going to maintain my grip on this thing, because I can't really do much else if I have to use both hands to hold it down.
Well, it tried to use its action to attack this turn, so
Right.
since it missed and its action was to attack, then I'm going to say you don't have to re-roll that for this turn.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, both his hands are occupied, so his only options are punch something, hit something with a warhammer, or hold on to it. So he's going to hold on to it.
fair enough.
Look who's useless now. No.
Oh my god. All right, then we're going to circle back to the top of the round. Felthu.
All right, same thing as last time. Bonus action is going to shoot a magic arrow, and critically fail.
Ouch.
There's the bonus action. Action is I'm going to cast Toll the Dead. It must make a Wisdom save.
That's a big ol' 2.
That is a failure, and I'm assuming it is missing health.
Yes, it is.
So I get to roll a d12 for damage if I can find one. The snake fails its Wisdom save. You said it rolled a 2. DC is like 13. 13. I rolled a 9, so it's 9 necrotic. As I like to imagine, he's kind of a starry bell appears over the snake, and he shoots one of the arrows at it, and ding, as the bell tolls.
And it kind of stops writhing for a second, looks up mesmerized, and lets out this sort of combination hiss screech in Damien's face as even more scales kind of begin to melt away, leaving this sort of black discoloration in their wake. And this thing's looking pretty messed up. Rubo.
From the bushes, how far away do you think I am?
I'd say you're about 15 feet.
Okay, 15 feet. Can I use Divine Sense on this thing and try to sense if it is... as an action, you can detect good and evil. Until the end of your next turn, you can sense anything affected by the Hallows spell and know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet. It is not behind total cover. You can use this feature 5 times for a long rest. So I'm just trying to get a sense of this thing is not just a snake, because it I'm seeing this I don't know, messed up meltiness of the snake.
You take a look at it and you kind of start to hone in. The snake is definitely, it has very evil intentions. Animals that you've observed in the past haven't had quite this clear of leaning in alignment necessarily, but you don't see any strange energy of whether it's a different creature than just a snake. It appears to be just a snake with very evil intentions.
Okay.
You would assume that all the meltiness is coming from what your friends are doing to it.
Cool. I just want to make sure, because I was Just getting some weird vibes off of this. In that case, I guess as a bonus action, I will hide again because I'm not still hidden, right? Because I attacked.
No, you are not still hidden because you attacked, yes.
Okay, so I'll just use my bonus action to hide again, and then I'll be good for the next turn.
Alrighty. Stealth check, good sir.
That is a disadvantage because of my heavy armor. Okay, that is a 13, so not great.
Alright, you believe you are sneaky.
Cool. I jump into another bush. You guys just see Rubo in like the background of this little like clearing. He just like stands up in the bush, like looks around real quick, and then just dives into another.
Russell. Russell. What's going on in these bushes, guys?
Alright, you believe you're sneaky. What's going on?
Perfect. That's the end of my turn. That was action and bonus.
Chatwin, we go over to you.
How injured is this thing looking right now?
It's got quite a few holes poked in it. We'll say that.
Okay, but it's not like quite on like death's door.
It's getting there.
Okay, here we go. Time for a sequel. I'm throwing another one of my special little marbles at this guy. Just so after it doesn't take it down. Ugh. All right. 15 plus 6, 21.
That definitely hits.
So that is another 3d8, again plus 4 from my charisma modifier. Let me get my d8s out. Come on, baby. 1, 2, 3. Ooh! All sixes. So 6 plus 6, 12, 18, plus another 4, 22. Another plink.
The floor is yours. How do you want to kill this thing?
Oh my god, really?
Yes.
I think that the little chromatic orb, like little marble thing, when it plinks into the scales, it gets lodged in between a part of the scales that have already been chipped away from the other attacks. And as it gets lodged in and into rainbow fire, you see the traces of rainbow fire running through the entire length of its body until it's like RGB lighting, like along all of the in between all the scales in its body, just glowing rainbow. And it's kind of beautiful for a second until you hear the faint sound of horrible screaming, and it's not clear where it's coming from. You think it's coming from the fire before all the fire just goes inwards and burns it from the inside.
Alrighty. And you guys kind of watch as the fire kind of sucks itself inwards. Damien, this snake gets incredibly hot in your hands as skin and scale just begins melting away.
I would have dropped it as soon as I heard screaming.
And you watch as this snake's body begins to melt away into the grass. And subsequently, you guys are met with the charred remains of Marcy.
I'm still in like just finished throwing position and just kind of straighten up. Put my sleeves back down. Okay, good job.
You guys hear from a bush? Is it over?
I'm gonna walk over to that bush that just yelled.
I don't come out of it yet.
You approach, and what's your passive perception?
Oh, it's so shitty. My passive perception is 10.
Okay. Yeah, you walk over to the bush.
But I heard a voice yelling from the bush, right?
Yes, but you don't really see anything until you're right on top of the bush, and some of Rubo's black hair is poking through the bush.
You're just looking down into the bush, and you just see 2 gold amber eyes peering back out of it at you.
I pull a shiv.
Oh, it's me! I stand up.
I put the shiv back somewhere on my person. You don't know where. You don't know where that thing's kept.
I don't know if I want to know.
I give Rubo a pat on the head. I think I'm gonna look at the snake.
I'll follow Chatwin over.
You guys go ahead and take a look at the snake corpse, and it literally is just kind of similar to what you did with the wolves a while ago, Chatwin. It has literally become a puddle of snake. A lot of the melted tissue and scales have now become lodged on the corpse of what you assume to be Marcy, the tour guide of the...
Is it still like steaming hot?
There is a bit of steam coming off of it, but it's looking like it's definitely cooling down.
I'm gonna pull the glove off of my right hand and redirect all the heat to that hand, so it kind of starts to, when a stove is at like high heat, so it has a very faint like sort of red glow and you can feel the heat radiating off of it.
Mhm.
My hand is kind of like a stove right now, and I'm gonna roll up my sleeve. Okay, I'm gonna reach into the mess and try to yank whatever's left of Marcy out.
In that case, I'm gonna go ahead and have you make me a Constitution save.
Okay.
Because you're not casting any sort of spell to protect you from being burned necessarily, though.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to blend in with the rest of the heat. Oh shit, I'm going to drop my Ifriti's aura. I still look like a fucking abomination. Oh shit. Okay.
Fair enough.
Ooh, not bad. 15 plus 4, 19.
Alrighty. I'd say you dip your hand in, and there is a little pain at first, but the heat radiating from your hand almost seems to melt away some of the hot debris even faster, so that it doesn't burn you as much, and you very quickly, like you would pulling like something from a hot pan with your bare hands, just very quickly like push. Yeah. So you very quickly sort of pull it out of the muck.
Is the muck still kind of burning?
It's not on fire, but it's still very hot. It's kind of like if you heated metal almost.
Okay.
Like it's retained a lot of the heat from the fire that sunk into the body. And that heat is dissipating slowly as it's like melted and coming back towards a solid form of some sort.
Okay. I think I turned to Damien and I'm like, Damien, we should probably make sure this doesn't burn the forest down, don't you think?
Damien would look around. Does it look like it's going to catch anything on fire?
Not particularly. It looks like it's sort of melting into the grass and starting to become solid again. So, like I said, it's not...
I used a spell that specifically wasn't going to be spread around the area. I tried to use a spell that specifically wasn't going to catch the trees on fire. I had other options, but I didn't want the fire to be like rampant. I wanted it to be focused.
Rubo doesn't know that. He goes, maybe we could pee on it?
Throw some dirt on it, I say as I remove my other glove, take out my flask of clean water and some of my soap, and begin washing my hands for about 5 minutes.
And Damien's just like, no, you don't need to worry about that, lad. It's kind of like metal. Like it's starting to cool and solidify.
You know, like when you got to leave a campfire really fast, so you just pee on it and it to make sure it doesn't burn when you're gone.
You can just throw dirt on it.
You guys don't pee. You don't pee on the fire.
I guess so.
No.
If that's, but
I mean,
but
it's probably be very different for me to try.
it would probably be a bit warm, lass. But
I keep washing my hands.
but I don't think we need to pee on the body. It's starting to cool down and solidify, so it'll be
All
fine.
right. All right.
Thelthy, what are you up to?
Just standing back, observing everyone talking, and I failed to have mentioned it earlier because again, this is a lot of stuff for me not having a lot of options and not playing character with as many options. But I am currently radiating 10 foot of bright light and then 10 foot of dim light as part of the starry form.
Oh my god, I was radiating a bunch of light too. Just two glowing beacons in the middle of the goddamn forest. I turned mine off.
Damien would end up coming over to Thelthu and be like, "Is that another one of your god things? That's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
You can just make weapons out of anything."
Well, not anything, but the stars, the constellations, and the bow still would be out. This last 10 minutes, so like I'd imagine like he's slung this constellation-y, bow over his shoulder. But yes, and some of the constellations give power, and well, this is just one of them.
Can I see the bow?
Oh, I don't know. Kind of like, swings it over his shoulder, holds it in his hands. Well, you can certainly try, I suppose.
I just want to look at it. I don't need to touch it, lad. He's going to kind of like examine it, and he's like, this looks really, really cool. And it's made well, it seems. It's quite fascinating. I didn't know stars could make things like that. Well, I'd heard a long time ago that like somebody forged a weapon out of a star. I'd never believed any of that kind of stuff.
Well, this is just one weapon, and well, it's forging is a strange word, I think, to use, but drawing on power. I don't think it's fully real, but it's just a manifestation, a sort of image almost.
Like a ghost?
Wait, would you say a ghost?
Yeah, like a ghost.
Perhaps. I don't remember a lot. Just more so how to do some of these things than the full theology of it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Rubo peeks out from behind Damien and says, "Where have you been keeping it? I don't quite get that part. Have you had it on you the whole time?"
Oh, no, well, like I mentioned, it's drawing power, and he kind of like holding the bow in one hand, kind of extends his arms, and like the nebulous kind of arm, starry visage is kind of there. It's something with this, and then he clutches the necklace on his neck. This as well, the star map. It aids in drawing out the power.
I still don't quite understand, but I think it's pretty cool. So you can just make a weapon out of... Do your arms get smaller? Do you take some of your arm power away when you make this?
He's gonna like really look at his arm for a second.
Rubo, you're putting ideas in his head.
I don't think so, but well, truthfully, I haven't done this often or before. It seemed appropriate now, but
Yeah, I think it's that the gods are forging the weapon for him, Rubo. That his god has made this weapon for him when he needed it. That's still a really cool idea. I like the sound of that, being able to just make something for someone.
How did you learn how to do it? Do you have parents? Could they do this?
he's just gonna kind of like look at you, like just dead in the eyes for a good like 10 seconds of just silence. Well, I can't exactly remember, but I would assume they could have or can.
You don't remember your family?
I don't know. Could I make a history check to attempt to remember something?
You may.
Or just no. Okay. My gut answer is saying no, but I like. Oh well, no, it's a 5, and I don't think my history might be decent. History is +5, so a 10.
You try to reach back into the empty recesses of your mind, and you're finding that the only memory you've even remotely recently gotten is that one from back at the bar. And that's the only one you can dredge up, even no matter how deep you dig.
He's just like staring at you for that like entire like 30 seconds, and just no, can't remember too much. That's why I'm here, and well, this Starry Grove and all that.
I mean, Delthu, with your permission, I'd love to pick your brain about it later. If that's something you're comfortable with, not family stuff, but just how all of it works. I'm very interested. But I feel like it's not exactly I'm putting my gloves back on after having washed my hands, and pointing down to the corpse that I yanked out of the goo. Just a quick examination, I feel like probably is warranted. Rubo, do you have a couple daggers I could borrow real quick? I normally would use proper tools for this sort of thing, but I don't.
And yeah, I'll pull one dagger out, and then I'll walk over to the muck, and I'll pull the other dagger. I have two daggers, one out of the like muck, and it's all like gross and hot, and I'm like like hot potatoing it, tossing it up and down. I'm like, okay, yeah, this one's a little warm, but I got two.
Are you going to cut her open?
I'm going to do a quick examination. Just trying to see. I know it's probably very likely that she was killed and eaten by the snake, but I want to see if there were any other deciding factors in her death. If there was anything else. Don't worry. I know very much what I'm doing. I can. I just don't have much proper equipment with me this time. Just a quick look, really. Does anybody have a handkerchief, by the way?
I shrug and I hand you my dagger. You can take the hot one too if you want, but I at least hand you my good dagger.
I'll take the good one and just stare at the goopy one. I just washed my hands.
Damien's gonna pull out one of his spare like clothes and be like, "Here, you can use that."
Thank you. I'm not trying to be uptight. I just I can't do the mess.
I'll carry her back when we're on our way back.
Right. And of course, I'm going to try to make her a bit presentable. I don't want to deliver her to the family like this.
As you're kind of taking this piece of clothing from Damien, a familiar voice kind of pokes fun at you in your head and just goes, "So you'll fight off a pack of wolves and make spiders crawl out of your eyes, but you're afraid of a little snake. Interesting."
You know, I don't. You know, it's a difference. I can't touch it. I can't touch it. You know that I can't touch it. So I can't touch.
I'm aware.
Okay, I'm going to take the knives. Leave me alone. All of it is said out loud, by the way. Anytime I'm talking to my friend, it's out loud.
I lean into Damien and I'm like, do you think she knows she does that? Just talks to herself?
Lad, I think she knows, and I really don't feel like pressing the matter. I held a giant snake down. I'm a little tired.
It's pretty cool, man. I give you like a fist bump.
But I'm going to crouch beside what is left of Marcy, and the two knives in my hands with holding them with like a practiced surgeon almost. And I'm going to not quite dissect, but just try to examine what wounds I can see, try to see if there's anything to suggest, oh yeah, she was just straight up eaten by a snake, or if I can see if there was anything else going on with her. And whatever I can find, I do want to try to clean her up best I can for family presentation.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and roll me either perception or investigation.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do investigation. Absolutely. Ooh. That is only 12, but yeah, my investigation's pretty good. So plus 6 is 18.
Okay. You start poking around this body. Your studies are really coming in handy on this trip, man.
Oh yeah, I have lots of studying experience for this exact kind of thing.
But you start poking and prodding around. You do see a couple of very clear fang marks on her right arm, which is where you're assuming the snake initially grabbed her to like slow her down before finding a way to consume her. You see that a few of her bones and limbs are bent at odd angles.
Snap back in place.
Making you assume that she was constricted by the snake, which would have broken a few bones by crushing them with its muscles before consuming her. You do notice, however, that you hadn't done much studying on the topic necessarily. You know enough from previous experience what working with long dead bodies looks like. And you remember that they had been noted as disappeared about 3 days ago.
So she's been dead for...
This body does not look dead for nearly that long.
So she's been dead for more time or less time?
Less time. Far less time.
Less time. So she just very recently died. Okay. As soon as I gather what I can, I will hold the knives back out to Rubo after I've finished doing that. And then, as I said, just pop whatever bones I can back into place, cleaning her up best I can, while trying to get absolutely zero of anything on me. And if I do, I have to pause for about 2 minutes to clean it. And then I'm gonna go back to what I was doing. But yeah, clean her up as much as I can. And when I'm finished with everything, I will look to everyone else. Was this the only body in there?
I don't know. You melted the snake.
Right.
I mean, I only saw the one.
I mean, I'll take a stick and see if I can identify any human bones in the goop, I guess. And worth a shot.
Damien's going to start looking around at the tree line to see where it came down from, to see if he could possibly climb up there to look for an injured person.
Go ahead and roll me perception. Damien, chat when you said you're rooting around in the body of the snake.
Yeah, grabbing just a stick and seeing if I can find any more scraps of cloth or human bones or anything that suggests Marcy wasn't the only one to be eaten by the snake.
Another investigation, please.
Okay, tight.
24.
9 plus 6, 15.
Alrighty. Damien, with that 24, you would be able to sort of glance up at the canopy and your eyes would fall on a broken branch where you're assuming that the snake was hanging off of before you snatched it and got it away from your new travel companion. You're able to very easily follow that broken branch down to a tree. You don't see anything up there that would indicate another living human, although you do see more broken branches as if it was dragging something through at one time or another.
I'm going to go investigate the broken branches, see if it has a nest somewhere or something.
Okay.
It's I'm going to go see if it's got a nest or something.
Buddy system, don't go alone. We don't want you to get eaten by a snake.
I'll tag along, it's fun.
Alright.
Right, you two seem like best friends already. You two have been getting along so well so far, from what I've seen.
I can take fail through.
I genuinely believe that.
Rubo's got a big smile on his face. He looks up at Damien, who's probably glaring back down at him.
Just don't shatter a vase this time, please.
I don't have one, or else I would. But so we're good to go.
And with that, as you two head towards the tree, Chatwin, as you're rooting around, thought through really quick, what are you doing? Just observing? Or
yeah, there's not too much I think he'd be doing. There'll be a moment where I'll start talking to everyone because he doesn't. It's a dead body. He doesn't care. Its spirit's gone.
That's fair. Chatwin, you kind of start rooting around in the muck, and you do see little bits and pieces of things that would suggest. You get closer to the lower abdomen where sort of the end of the snake and the end of the digestive tract would be, and you start seeing bits of undigested bone. You see part of a tourist's cap that you think came from the souvenir shop. Little bits and pieces of things that didn't completely melt in your blaze of fire that melted the snake.
Yeah, the combination of my fire and this thing's stomach acid, they didn't really have a good chance.
No.
But definitely evidence that this snake ate the others. Yeah, I'll kind of report that back to Theothu because he's the only other one there. We don't have Damien and Rubo in our line of sight from where we are, do we?
You would be able to see them as they kind of went over to this other tree. It's right at the edge of the clearing, so it's not.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
you would be able to see them climbing out, up.
I'll just, report that kind of what I found to Thalthu, and then just kind of stand and try to keep an eye on them, kind of on guard if anything else wants to jump out.
Alrighty. And as you keep an eye on them, Rubo, Thelthu, I would like you to either make acrobatics or athletics to climb into this tree and start investigating around.
I think you mean Damien, right?
Yeah, I'm just kind of watching the ground. I can attempt to help Damien if he needs. I am very weak, but I am dexterous.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were going up into the tree too.
Do you want to boost me into the tree, or do you want to go up there?
I got it. He's gonna climb up into the tree. What do you want? Athletics?
Athletics or acrobatics, whichever you prefer.
I start pushing on his massive quads to try to boost him.
13 plus a 6.
All right. And if Rubo is going to try and help you, albeit not give a ton of help, you can roll with advantage.
Well, that one was a 3. So I'll take the 13 plus a 6 for a 19.
Yeah. So Damien, yeah, with little to no help from Rubo, but you can tell that he's trying to help. You manage to easily boost yourself into this tree. You start looking around at some of these broken branches and seeing signs of this tree being frequently used by this snake. You do, as you climb about halfway up the tree, notice a hole bored into the trunk that would give enough room for this snake to hide. And you do see some other dead animals, like squirrels and rabbits and things, actually stored in the trunk of the tree, which is very unusual for a snake. You've never seen it, any sort of reptile or snake do this. They usually eat and then go hunting when they're hungry again. They don't keep a stockpile of food.
He's gonna examine the hole, kind of like climb into it. And he's like, I found the hole. It's got some animals in here. Give me a minute. He's gonna climb up into it.
Can Damien fit in the hole, or can I have him boost me up and I'll slide down into the hole?
Damien, you would be able to probably stick your head and your head in to observe, and maybe like an arm, but I don't think you would be able to crawl entirely into the hole.
Okay, he's gonna if he can't fit in there, he's like, "Hey, Rubo, get up here!" And he's gonna drop a rope down.
Perfect. Do I need to make a check to use the rope?
Athletics or acrobatics with advantage, thanks to the rope.
Flat roll acrobatics then. That is a 15 plus 2, 17.
Nice. Thanks to the rope, you're able to scurry up pretty quickly.
Perfect.
And you make it up to where Damien is standing next to a pretty decently sized hole in the trunk of the
Perfect.
tree.
I look into this like dark hole smattered with blood or something, and I'm like, honestly though, maybe not, right?
Whatever. And he's gonna sit down, pull out a torch, flint and tinder, and like try to get the torch to like go up so he can like hold it, like carefully hold it into the hole without lighting the tree on fire.
Yeah, you managed to light the torch, and with some very slow and careful maneuvering, you're able to get it into the trunk of the tree.
And then like put my head in to look.
Mm-hmm. And you start to look down, and you see that there's a lot more in there than just animal carcasses. You start to see like trinkets from what you would assume is its human victims. Like you see some souvenir hats. You see some jewelry that might have belonged to some of the women that it killed. Little toys from the kids.
Oh, that's not good. Well, I see a lot of like jewelry and toys and souvenirs and stuff in here.
There's no pawn shops in the forest, so you can't hawk that goods.
but at least it's good proof that we found it. We should probably take these things back.
Okay, and I try to get into the hole so I can start climbing in there to get all the stuff out.
Once he's like in the hole, I'll put the torch back in so he has light.
As I look at all this, does any of it look valuable?
Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
I probably should have brought our lizard friend.
That is a 14 plus 1 is a 15.
You see a couple, like he said, there is some jewelry in there. You see a couple like simple like necklaces. You see a pair of earrings, but none of it looks extremely valuable.
Okay, I just take the prettiest looking one, and I'm gonna try to slide a hand into my pocket.
Man, I'm not looking at you. Like I'm just holding the torch in.
You find a decently sized sapphire necklace. Make me a sleight of hand check real quick.
That is a 12 plus 4. So what's 12 plus 4? Math. 16.
16. You very quickly, as you're kind of scooping everything up, making it look like you're making a pile in your arms, very quickly you take that sapphire necklace and just shoop into the back pocket.
Perfect. And then I pass the rest of it up to Damien.
He puts it in his bag and then holds a hand in to help pull you out.
Does this like go anywhere else? Or is it just kind of a hole?
It's kind of just a hole.
It's not like a tunnel.
No, it's not a tunnel. It has hollowed out a surprising amount of tree for what you would believe a snake is capable of. Like I said to Damien, you would never know any sort of reptilian creature or snake in general to stockpile food.
Yeah, seems weird, but it's not like it doesn't go like further.
Especially since you can see that, like, now that you're down there and like right up in the face of some of these animal carcasses, like some of them seem like really old and decaying. So the fact that you're assuming that it chose fresher prey over the stuff that it had already stockpiled, like this is getting kind of strange.
I'll be like, please get me out of here. It smells awful. And I'll reach up and grab Damien's hand.
He's gonna pull you out, kind of like help you get down the rope, and just be like, "Can you go get Chatwin, please?"
Yeah, Chatwin! I just shout.
And Theltu, maybe he knows something. This is odd.
Yeah, both of you guys
Yeah.
out there. I just shout because you guys aren't that far away. But I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like when you ask a kid to do something and they just shout it.
Mom!
Okay.
Can
Okay.
you
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Suppose.
I'm gonna go with Theltu.
Dad needs you guys.
Dad needs you. Yeah, we'll go over there.
If one of y'all want to climb up here, this is really odd. He kind of sits down on the branch. So there's a hole up here where it looks like the snake would stay, but there's dead carcasses in there. So it's weird that it would just go out, like it would stockpile food. That's not normal, I don't think. And it had trinkets, like it took the jewelry and things from the people. I figured you might want to look at it because I'm not that smart. I just don't think animals act that way.
Yeah, I could take a look. That wasn't really my primary focus of study in my youth, but I may have read something on it.
Oh, what about you? What about you, Thalthu? Are you familiar with animals and their behaviors?
Somewhat. I could get up there pretty easily, actually, and take a good peek, kind of in the size of a small beast, so to speak.
All right, I would appreciate it. I'll help you out of the hole.
Oh, I don't think that'll be that much of a problem. I would like to use my last thing of wild shape to turn into just a normal tiny spider, CR0.
Okay.
Because
And-
it's the first thing that went to my mind.
Amazing. And you guys watch
Aw.
as this giant lizard all of a sudden shrinks, and there is a tiny green little spider.
Chat, when did that fall out of you?
Not this time. I'm going to crouch down and kind of hold out my hand. Oh, Theltu, you're a little eight-legged guy.
And Damon's just gonna be like, "Oh God, not a spider, not a spider, not a spider."
I just imagine I wouldn't do this, but being like, oh, spider's stepping on him real quick and he turning back to the
Here, come on.
Yeah,
We're at the
just-
base of the tree, right?
Yeah.
If Theothu gets in my hands.
Yeah, he'll
Okay, I'll go like,
Later on.
okay, little Baba. I will reach up and pass him up to the branch. There you go.
and I gotta climb speed, so I just doop. Climb on up and in the hole, and spiders also have dark vision.
Damien, could you help pull me up actually? Because I would like to take a peek in there, but I'm not too confident in my abilities.
Yeah, just tie the rope around you. I'll pull you up.
Oh, okay. Tie the rope, throw it up to him.
It just pulls it. I mean, it's tied to the tree branch, right? That's how I was
Oh.
helping. So I'm just gonna grab it and pull it up.
Okay, I'll hold on to the rope and have you help pull me up.
Yeah. You're strong enough that I'm not even gonna have you make a check. It's
I'm an inside boy.
I'm watching him pull Chatwin up, and I'm like, I weigh less than her, and you made me climb.
I'm not an outside person.
I was trying to help you build muscle, lad.
I'm very strong. Flex, muscles droop.
I slip one sleeve out of my overcoat and flex. I'm already plenty strong. There are muscles there.
Damn.
Well, that's unexpected.
and as Rubo sits there admiring Chatwin's muscles and being jealous.
Damn.
So Thelthu, your tiny little spider form, crawls into this little hole, and you are met with the decaying corpses of a multitude of creatures, ranging from squirrels and mice to spiders, much bigger spiders than you are right now, and rabbits. Is there anything specific that you're looking for?
I think he's just. I mean, animal corpses are one thing. That's normal. They hear everything else. I guess he's trying to, with a smaller, more nimble set of eyes, kind of try to spot anything else that might have been missed. If this does end up going down deeper or something, if there's any kind of not natural, like, markings of something else being here other than a snake.
Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Okay, I just want to double check which investigation I use. I believe it's my own because it's a mental stat.
I would say yes, in this case.
Alright, because intelligence and wisdom. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Investigation. Okay, 17 plus 3 is a dirty 20.
Yeah, you start looking around and you see that being a much smaller creature, this hole has a couple more facets than the other boys were able to pick up when they were kind of investigating around and gathering some things. And you do find amongst the debris that's been tossed aside in here, you find a couple more like torn bits of cloth, some other signs of human prey that's been dragged back here and consumed. You find in particular what looks to be like a torn robe from a monastery of some sort that has 3 M's, like that has sort of a logo on it, a crest almost of 3 M's stacked on top of each other with what looks like leaves of a tree that would make a canopy of a tree stacked on top of it. But that's about all you find.
Alright. And could I possibly make, like, maybe it's a nature check or something to think, like, do I think there is only one snake who would have lived here?
Yeah, go ahead and make me a nature check.
Okay, 19 plus 5 for a 24.
For 24, you start thinking about it. You look around near the corpses of the dead animals once again, and you realize that circling this mass of uneaten stuff are a bunch of cracked eggshells.
And it's uneaten stuff, but the eggshells are cracked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, he'll start making his way out then. Doesn't move very fast. It's only 20 feet. But I guess this place isn't that big. But he's tiny.
Alrighty. Little spider legs. Do.
It's been a long time. You all right in there?
I mean, he is a spider. Spiders don't move very fast.
All three of us are sitting on the branch, our legs swinging, just kind of just.
No, Rubo's on the ground.
You fell.
Just standing up there staring up at you guys.
I mean, it's not like we can exactly like call down to him and see what's going on. He can't really respond unless any of you talk to spiders, and we just don't know.
I look right at Damien.
I look at Damien.
I do not get along with spiders.
Why
That
not?
is like the worst thing he could have turned into for me.
Are you scared of spiders?
I'm a little unnerved by spiders. They just show up everywhere. And like you leave your forge unlit for a little while, you come back and there's cobwebs everywhere because it used to be warm. I don't know.
You just scoop them out. They're very kind if you're gentle with them. I mean, I kind of had to get used to creepy crawlies, you know.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
I get a full body shake.
Thinking about the bugs in my eyes. I still do they just live there or are they summoned? I've wondered that. The only way to figure out is would be to take a look inside my skull.
And with that, Delphu, you crawl out of the hole.
And time to hear this conversation.
Yep. And appear next to this group, their legs all dangling off of a branch as they wait for you.
He'll try to speak because this is like the first time I imagine he's ever done this, and like realizing you can't speak as a spider, just kind of like crawl up on whoever is closest to the hole to get their attention.
Can I pick him up again?
I'm assuming it would be Chatwin, so yes.
I was so eager to see him again. I'm gonna pick him up like Snow White holding a cute little bird, but instead it's this fucking nightmare person holding a little spider. Holding up in front of my face, cupped in both hands. Hi there. Do you find anything interesting? Wave your little hands if you did.
He will. I don't know how visible. I guess it would be. They're spiders, yeah. We'll...
Okay, there probably was a better way to do that, but that was honestly just for my entertainment. I really like spiders. I really like bugs.
All right. Well, I'm gonna lower you back down, lass.
Oh, okay. I'm fully gonna put Theothu on my shoulder. Oh, do you want to go down, or do you want to take another look up here?
Like just
point down with your
point down
spider leg. Oh, okay. We're good.
Helps him down, and then just kind of like leaps out of the jumps out of the tree.
Jumps out of the tree, onto the ground. The
big
earth
fucking
superhero landing.
Big metal person.
clank, clank, clank.
Stretch.
I just imagine you land wrong and you trip and you just tumble onto the ground. Clank, 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 clank. It's like dropping a bunch of pots and pans.
I mean, it's pretty much the only way I'm getting the rope back down because I can't climb down the rope and then untie it. So he's just gonna untie the rope, jump down with it.
I was just imagining Theothu like turning back into himself up on that branch, and you got 3 people on a branch, and it's snapping, and all of you fall into the forest floor.
But
Okay.
now, Rubo, you are left up in the tree without the rope or...
No, Rubo came.
No, he helped me
I sent
down
Rubo
already.
down already.
Yeah,
Oh,
we pushed
okay.
him out of
Before he called for
Yeah, I was
Chatwin.
on the ground.
We pushed him out of the tree earlier. I'll take Theothu off my shoulder. Is there anything else you
It's
think
like
we need to
childhood
do?
all over again.
Yeah. Theothu, is there anything else that you think you need to do while you're still a spider?
like what one leg to like. I guess you can't really do that as a spider, huh?
I mean, they can touch their face.
Do they can? Okay, then yeah, he would. I'd.
Shake your little abdomen if no.
He'll do so. 'cause
Shake your little spider butt if
Yeah,
yes.
big little spider butt for a no. That
You shake your spider butt for a no. You wave your spider arms for a yes. That's the system we've come up with.
we'll shake his spider butt in a yes to that system along with that is it.
Okay. I'm sorry. I know you're like a new friend and all, and you're not a little pet spider, but this is very wholesome for me. I just have to say, okay, I'll put you on the ground so you don't turn back into Theothu on my hands.
And there's a little whisper in the back of your mind that goes, "We could turn him into a spider permanently, you know."
Fuck off.
What?
Nothing.
What?
Don't worry.
Oh, you're doing it again. All right.
And with that,
Don't step on our friend, Damien.
Yeah, don't step on him. Everyone back away. I don't want you to accidentally step on him. You might kill Theothu. Oh my god, if we step on him, do we kill Theothu? No, everyone back up.
I don't know how this works.
I don't know how it works.
He's gonna let that whole thing play out for like a second, and then revert bonus action revert into a lizard folk again. Well, that was.
and there is now a 6-foot-tall lizard man standing in front of you once again.
That was very interesting, Theothu. You're very talented.
Thank you. It's interesting to get a shorter perspective on things. Everything's a lot bigger, but well, there isn't too much more in the whole other than the corpses of animals, along with cloth and some sort of robe with 3 M's and leaves over it.
Oh,
That means anything.
someone mentioned, I can't remember who, someone was talking about the monastery of Morikyo. There's a monastery out here, or people believe that there is. I wrote down notes on this. I can't remember who told us. I think this was back in the Stormy Sail Tavern before we even left for Ivenburra. I think someone was telling us about the Morikyo monastery out here. And
Damien, do you have your pamphlet on this? Do you have your pamphlet? Maybe there's something in there?
I thought she had recorded the whole pamphlet.
I did. That's what I'm reading from.
Is there anything in the pamphlet?
There's a small section about a monastery called Morikyo's Minions Monastery that has a very similar symbol as to what was described painted next to it. And it details that they aim to, in serving Morikyo, combine his 2 ideals as much as possible and have created sort of their own mini civilization out in the forest as deep as they could get.
So, okay, one of 3 possibilities. Either we have wandered almost to their civilization, almost to the Triple M's monastery, or one of them wandered too far from home, or the Sparkling Grove has already taken us and we are in the middle of it, nowhere near Ivenburra.
Or another option.
Yes.
The snake was a member.
We'll put that as option D.
Honestly, did you find anything else they'll do? If not, we should probably get the body back.
There was one other, well, more than one actually. There were a couple. It seems there were probably more snakes around, or not. They were cracked eggs, but as you all had, or some of you had seen, there were those animal corpses, seemingly untouched, or at least there, and there was a lot of them. But the eggs were cracked, or shells rather. I mean, that could either imply the young died, or they're out there somewhere.
Well, that's a little odd, because typically young snakes would eat whatever was nearby.
Maybe these monastery folks stole the baby snakes.
Option next up. We'll add that to the list.
Well, for now, I think we should at least take the young lass back to her mother.
Do you remember her? There's something just about it that's bothering me. Do you remember her diary? She was talking about how she feels like she's being followed, that she's hearing noises in the woods. And if it was just the one snake grabbing people, and recently it grabbed Marcy as well, that could explain her sort of frantic writing she had about people disappearing. But I don't know, something about her writing about she's being followed and hearing noises, and the tree and the eggs and the uneaten corpses, and just it doesn't. I wish it was very simple, just to say we got the thing that was eating people. But does anyone else feel like we're still missing something?
I think that there is a little bit more to the story that we definitely don't know. but I don't know any leads to find that information. I would like to get the young lass back to her mother if we could mark the path along the way so that we can get our way back here and we can try to investigate further if that's what y'all would like to do.
Yes, I have a few words I need to share with the mayor anyways, so I think heading back to town right now shouldn't be too much of an issue. Does anyone want to carry Marcy?
I'll do it.
I don't think I could, to be honest with you.
He's gonna like pick her up and like princess carry her. Let's tie ropes around us just to be safe.
Right.
Thelthu?
Why exactly should we go through the trouble of carrying the body?
So that her mother can bury her body and at least have proof that her daughter is dead.
Well,
If my children died, I would like to know for sure.
Our word could be enough, and the corpse is here in nature. It is part of the cycles and such.
I don't know how your people do things. We typically bury our dead. We dig a hole, we hold a ceremony to remember their life, and we bury them in the ground.
All right. That is fine, I suppose, then.
And as you all finish your preparations to return to the town of Ivenburra, that is where we will end our session for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all. Yes, all the craziness.
Emma, I want
Thank
to keep
you all.
playing. I want to keep playing.
I know, but we can't.
I know.
Anyway, thank you all so much for listening. If you enjoyed, please be sure to follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. All Chronicles of Kriath Pod, one word and lowercase. And if you want to see more of the shenanigans that these guys get up to once they return to Ivenburra, although probably a little more solemn at this moment, seeing as they're bringing back a dead body with them, tune in next week. See you next time, guys. Thanks for listening. Bye.
I'm gonna eat the mayor's heart.
Bye.
And say a prayer for poor Marcy's mother for me.
Marcy's mom.
Get fucked, Mayor Bert.
Here-